Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about the Canon R5, two key things that many people are not talking about, and these two things are definitely going to be big factors when it comes to you purchasing the camera, whether you should or not, because these two things are really important and people are not really talking about it. So let's dive in. What's good guys, my name is Mario. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing and like this video because it always helps the channel out. But let's just dive in. So one of the first things that many people have not really covered on is, yes, it overheats, and that's one of the first things we're going to talk about, but not really the overheating part. Everyone's stating that if you, let's just say, film for 20 minutes or up to 30 minutes, it's going to overheat, and we're aware of that. And a lot of them are saying, well, who's really gonna shoot for 30 minutes continuous, or 20 minutes at 4K 120? It's insane. But they're not covering this particular part here, and that is, if you shoot, let's just say 4K 60 or 4K 120 on that camera, and you're shooting 3 minutes, you stop recording for a minute, and you shoot another 3 minutes and you stop recording, it's gonna overheat. It's not like you can shoot in 3 minutes or in a minute and then nothing's gonna happen to the camera. It's still building up to overheat. People are not stating that about the R5. I think that's a big drawback. Just imagine if you guys are on a real world scenario, if you guys are shooting a wedding, you already know you're shooting a lot of moments, like even from the beginning when the bride is getting ready, the groom is getting ready, you're just recording, you stop, record, stop. That's gonna build up. So at the end of the day, this camera is not really turning out to be what we all thought. I love the specs, but it's just holding you back. If you're shooting with clients and there's contracts and all that, this camera will probably be a problem with you on set. If you're shooting music videos, as myself as well, and you're shooting performance scenes for up to 3 minutes, and you do it 4 consecutive times at 4K 60, that's a common frame rate that we all shoot when it comes to music videos. It's gonna overheat after so many performances. And then I live in Los Angeles, so it is hot inside a studio, it is hot outside, basically 80% of the year. So I don't know who this camera is for. We're not shooting in a freezer where everything is cold and all that, so we all know it's gonna overheat, but people are just not stating. When it comes to recording in little moments, it's gonna build up. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys have caught that, but a lot of them on a lot of YouTube channels that I've seen, they have not talked about that. And I think that's a big drawback. So consider that part, because that is really key. And if you guys are working with a lot of clients as myself from promos and all that, when it comes to them booking studio time, that they're not gonna wanna hear, oh, let's wait 10 minutes because we understand the camera's overheating. They don't care about that. So just consider that. If you guys have backup cameras, it might not affect you, but if you wanna shoot everything with the R5 and that's gonna be your only real camera that you go on set with, you might wanna consider, going a different route, or just look into it and think about it, because this is basically, it's not a cheap camera. It's $4,000. So yeah, just think about it. I just want to save you guys money, so that's why I'm making this video. The next thing we're going to talk about that people have not covered on is the dynamic range. Now, I use the Canon EOS-R, and my girl uses it a lot of the times for our BTS, and this R5 tends to be one stop better in terms of dynamic range when it comes to the Canon EOS-R. The Canon EOS-R, it is garbage. I use it all the time. I use it for all my BTS shoots. I use it for my YouTube videos. If the highlights are blown, and I'm not talking about super blown, just a little bit, you can bring no information back. It is garbage. Definitely consider that. If that doesn't bug you and the first issue doesn't bother you, then I guess it's the right camera for you. If you're just trying to take this camera out to go have fun and not really take it on real shoots, then this camera probably will be good for you. But if you're like me and you're shooting music videos, you're shooting weddings, you're shooting commercials, you're shooting even real estate, chances are you don't want those type of problems when it comes to shooting. You want a workhorse. You want your camera to do its job. You don't want it to hold you back. And that's one reason why I'm mad. I'm a Canon guy myself. I started with Canon a long time ago. And I started with the 5D Mark II, the 5D Mark III, the Canon 60D, 70D, 80D, you name it. I have all Canon lenses. Yeah, I mean, it just sucks the R5 is not what I wanted it to be. Now, Tilta did come out actually with a weird system for the R5 so it doesn't overheat. We don't know how that's gonna work. There's gonna be a lot of things I'm sure coming out for the R5, but the fact that you gotta add all these things, at this point, just get the Black Magic. I mean, that doesn't overheat and it gives you great, outstanding quality. So if you gotta add all these things to the R5 just for it to work, you might as well just go on Black Magic. I mean, that's just the way I view it. But I mean, if you want the autofocus and you're well invested into Canon lenses, then I understand. But that's it for today's video. Hopefully these two things that I mentioned can help you guys decide on the camera, whether you guys are gonna drop to $4,000, because that's $4,000. I want to save you guys, you know, the money and the time, so you guys don't have to worry about returning it and all that, you know, maybe going on a different route. But anyways, catch you guys on the next one. Subscribe again. Peace out, guys.